I brought out the skull mold again so that we can make another vase. This is definitely one of my oldest molds. It's from 1962. I took off the top of the skull so that it can be used as a planter or a vase. And then I cast this teeny tiny little mold. You may remember it from the time I made my own crock charms. I attached a couple of the flowers to his head with some slip, and then I cleaned up the connections with a wet paintbrush. I sponged some vinegar all over the skull to add a little bit of texture to it, and then after the first firing, I covered the entire skull with brown underglaze. The last time I made this piece, I used black underglaze, and I got a lot of comments from people saying that they thought it would look even better with brown. Anyway, so I really wanted to know if they were right, so I'm using brown this time. I wiped the underglaze back to reveal all of that texture that we created. I glazed all of the added flowers, and then I coated the entire skull with 2 coats of clear glaze. Now, in order to fit this piece into my tiny kiln, I did have to take the bottom shelf out. Probably don't do this. This shelf protects your kiln brick in case anything drips onto it, but I made a calculated risk in my own studio using my own kiln with glazes that I know really well and are not drippy. And luckily it did end up totally fine because this is how the piece came out. And I gotta say, y'all were right. I do really like the brown. Maybe not more than the black, they're just kind of different. But with the pop of pink that I added inside of the skull, I think the brown looks really nice.